For centuries, Greenland was a remote, ice-covered outpost, a land of endless white horizons and silence, known mostly to explorers and scientists. Largely ignored by the world, its people lived in isolation, their daily lives shaped by the harsh Arctic environment and the rhythms of the ice. That changed overnight when Donald Trump floated the idea of buying Greenland, an idea that, while mocked by many, forced the world to reconsider the island's strategic value and potential. By his second term, Greenland was no longer a curiosity but a central focus of American foreign policy, with lawmakers and strategists debating its future in Washington's corridors of power. The Arctic's melting ice and shifting geopolitics made Greenland's location and resources suddenly invaluable. Rare earth minerals, new shipping lanes, and military positioning all became part of the conversation. The island's quiet past was over. It was now at the heart of a global power struggle, with world leaders and military planners eyeing its every move. For Greenlanders and Danes, this was a shock. Decisions about their future were now debated in Washington and Brussels, not just Newark or Copenhagen. The sense of control over their own destiny began to slip away. Greenland's transformation from forgotten territory to strategic prize shows how quickly the global order can change, and how geography can thrust a place into the spotlight overnight. Old alliances are being tested, and the rules rewritten as nations scramble to secure their interests in the far north. In 2026, Greenland's story is about more than an island. It's about the return of hard power, transactional diplomacy, and the reality that geography is destiny. The stakes have never been higher. The world's attention is now fixed on the Arctic's new front line, where the next chapter of global competition is being written in real time. Greenland's importance rests on three pillars: geography, resources, and military strategy. This vast, icy island is more than just a remote outpost. It's a focal point in the shifting balance of global power. Its location bridges North America and Europe, making it a vital outpost for U.S. missile defense and surveillance. Greenland's air bases and radar stations are critical for monitoring the skies and seas, providing early warning against potential threats. Melting Arctic ice is opening new shipping lanes, turning Greenland into a gatekeeper for future global trade. As these routes become more navigable, the island's ports and waterways are poised to become essential links between continents, reducing travel time and costs for international shipping. Beneath the ice, vast reserves of rare earth minerals promise to reshape the global tech race, especially as the West seeks alternatives to China's supply. Greenland's mineral wealth includes not just rare earths, but also gold, uranium, and other valuable resources, drawing the attention of investors and governments worldwide. Meanwhile, Russia and China are expanding their Arctic presence, intensifying the region's strategic competition. Their growing fleets and infrastructure projects signal a new era of rivalry, as each nation seeks to secure its own interests in the far north. For the U.S., Greenland is now a platform to project power and secure interests in a rapidly changing Arctic. American forces train and operate here, adapting to the harsh environment to maintain a strategic edge as the region transforms. These factors, shipping, minerals, and military reach, have made Greenland a prize in a new era of rivalry. The island's unique position at the crossroads of commerce and security has never been more significant. The melting ice has revealed not just land, but the island's latent power. As glaciers retreat, Greenland's true potential, both economic and strategic, comes into sharper focus. The race to shape Greenland's future is on, with nations and corporations alike vying for influence in this emerging frontier. Under Trump's second term, America's interest in Greenland turned not just persistent, but openly aggressive, signaling a dramatic shift in U.S. foreign policy priorities. What began as a wild, almost unbelievable purchase offer quickly escalated into a full-blown diplomatic crisis by 2026, catching both allies and rivals off guard. The White House now viewed control of Greenland as absolutely essential for U.S. security and economic dominance, especially in the face of growing competition from Russia and China for Arctic resources and influence. Trump's administration ramped up pressure, using tariffs on European allies, especially Denmark, to force negotiations, framing these moves as retaliation for European troops stationed in Greenland and as a necessary defense of American interests. Leaked messages revealed personal motives behind the campaign, with Trump linking his aggressive tactics to long-standing grievances over the Nobel Peace Prize and a desire to cement his legacy on the world stage. This approach reduced alliances to mere transactions, with loyalty and cooperation either bought outright or coerced through threats and economic leverage, undermining decades of trust. The US bypassed traditional diplomatic norms, inserting itself directly between Denmark and Greenland, and disregarding established channels in pursuit of its own agenda. The message was unmistakable. Greenland's strategic value, both militarily and economically, was simply too great for the US to leave in the hands of others. America was willing to risk a major transatlantic crisis, straining old alliances, to secure its Arctic ambitions and reshape the balance of power in the region. Europe's response was swift and united. Denmark declared, "Greenland is not for sale," echoed by leaders across the continent. European capitals condemned US pressure, marking the deepest rift in transatlantic relations in decades. The EU prepared countermeasures, including tariffs and restrictions on US tech giants, raising the specter of a trade war. The crisis forced Europe to confront the reality of American unpredictability and the need for strategic autonomy. The Greenland affair showed that shared interests with the US could no longer be assumed. Europe began building its own capacity to act, forging unity from a shared sense of threat. Greenland became a catalyst for a more independent European foreign policy. Amid the power struggle, Greenlanders made their voices heard. Protests erupted in Nuuk and Copenhagen, rejecting the idea that their homeland could be bought or sold. Greenland's leaders faced impossible choices, balancing pressure from superpowers with the will of their people. While US investment was tempting, the price of sovereignty was too high. The crisis only strengthened Greenland's desire for self-determination and independence. Greenlanders insisted on being subjects of their own story, not objects in a global game. The world's attention has clarified their resolve. Greenland's future must be decided by Greenlanders. The Greenland standoff is part of a larger transformation in global power. As Arctic ice recedes, new shipping lanes and resources are fueling a scramble among the US, Russia, and China. Russia is expanding its Arctic military presence, while China invests in infrastructure and research seeking influence. The US sees both as threats, intensifying the security dilemma. Old alliances are strained as national interests take precedence over shared values. Europe is learning it can't rely on the US as before. The Arctic is now a central, contested square on the global chessboard. Greenland is at the heart of this new great power rivalry. The struggle for Greenland is a sign of the New World Order. More transactional, less bound by old rules, small strategic territories can suddenly become the focus of global conflict. The crisis marks the erosion of the rules-based order, replaced by power politics. Europe is being forced to stand on its own, forging unity in the face of American pressure. Greenland now embodies the intersection of climate change, resource competition, and great power rivalry. The melting ice is reshaping both the planet and its politics. Greenland's fate will reveal whether alliances and norms can survive in this turbulent era. The quiet giant has awakened, and the world is watching.